Welcome to the Wild Type Podcast. I'm Lyssa's Lizards.
I'm Neptune Chameleon.
And we're your reptile girlies. So this week has been incredible for me, and it's not for anything that anybody's actually going to care about.
That's a big statement.
It's been a fabulous week, and it is because all of my favorite shows are on like every night of the week, basically, and it's been incredible.
Are they staggered? So it's like one?
No.
Or they double up?
It's pretty much been like Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday. So it's kind of like towards the end of the week. So you do
the Wild Type podcast on Tuesday.
Obviously.
Then all your shows the rest of the week.
Obviously.
Okay, got it. Perfect.
But it's literally been, also just a side note, because I have a furry little friend coming up and laying in front of your lap. For anybody, if you hear slight whines, it's because Logan is out of town, and so we are on dog duty.
But I would like to note that Campbell left his very comfortable bed to come lay down on the hard floor next to me.
Yes, he did. He loves you. He really does love you. Like at our Halloween party, he was very much like sticking by you because he knows that you're like one of his safe people.
He could have laid on that side of the floor, but he's on this side of the floor.
I think he's mad at me for making him be up here, frankly.
Oh, retaliation. It's okay. I'll be the fun aunt that like sneaks you out at night.
Oh, for sure. No, he absolutely comes to you for all of those things.
I love it. But yeah, so if you hear any noises or see a head pop up in this general area,
it's just my cutie of all cuties, little Campbell. So
yeah, our co-host.
Yes, little third reptile girly today, reptile boy. But no, so. Basically, reality TV has been like incredible for me this week.
Yes.
I've had Traders, which if you're not watching Traders, you should be. It's fantastic. And it's one of those shows that's like a culmination of like reality TV stars that get put on another show.
Oh.
So you like know who they are, which is incredible. And the reunion was hosted by Andy Cohen, which is like the Bravo King, which is incredible.
I'm following. Yes.
So anywho, I had Traders, Southern Hospitality, Southern Charm, Summer House. There's something else. Love is Blind. Not Love Island, but Love is Blind.
Yeah.
Love is Blind has also been hot and heavy, and we just wrapped that up. So I know this is coming out after the fact, but it's been a really good week for me.
You watch those shows, and then I'm watching Alone Australia, where they get dropped in the middle of nowhere and have to survive. And I'm on I watched like a couple minutes of the first episode. I wasn't really like, I've seen all the seasons for like the US ones. But, like, I kind of scroll through, and I'm like, let me just start in the middle, because the first is always the intro, and, like, whatever. I want to see them, like, struggling to survive. Well, it's, like, episode 6.
That was a crazy thing to say.
Hunger Games, let's go.
You literally just said, I want to see them struggling to survive.
But not die. Just, like, so... Let me elaborate, because I can see how that can be taken.
Did you ever watch Survivor? Like, do you watch that?
No, I've just seen, like, clips and stuff.
Okay.
But, like, I'm so not the person who will survive. So I'm, like, fascinated by people who are, like...
Who can pull that off.
Can do that.
Yeah, no,
so
it's crazy.
It's admiration, to be so clear. Like, nothing but admiration as I'm, like, snuggling with my dog in my, like blankie in the comfort of my...
nice, warm, cozy home.
In my home, exactly. But I get to, like the 6th episode... I don't think this is a crazy spoiler. It's day 8 and like half the people have left already. I'm like, how did you not make it? Again, I would not survive 8 hours. So like, I'm so not like.
We're aware this statement is hypocritical. It's like, fine. That's the point. That's the point of reality TV.
So aware. However, compared to the US season, I know you've said with like Love is Love Island, right? Like the UK versus the US, like
different franchises. Yeah.
Yes, I was just like, excuse me. Day 8?
Also, you said Australia, right?
Yeah.
They like, do you not like live in that world?
I'm very concerned. So
I feel like Australia can be a scary place. It's on my dream bucket list to go visit. Yeah. But like,
anyways, so you have your reality TV, and I'm over here watching Alone Australia edition.
Well, so it's funny. One of the reasons I love Traders so much, and sorry, this is like probably too long of a reality TV tangent than I was planning, but on Traders, they do have like the survivor people.
Yeah.
So what I like about Traders that's fascinating is they pretty much, it's on Peacock, which is also a really big part of Bravo these days. So like they bring on all these like reality TV stars in general, right? Well, half of the cast is like Survivor, Big Brother, like these gamer shows, which are like, they're like,
competitive.
They're competitive. They're
Strategic.
lying. They're sneaky. They're cutthroat. They do like crazy things. Like one girl this season was like swearing on her grandkid's life that she wasn't a traitor and she was a traitor. Sorry for the spoiler, but like they do crazy stuff. And then the other half of the cast is like Vanderpump Rules, Summer House, Housewives.
Right.
And so it's like
very different.
So it's hilarious watching those two types of like reality TV stars mix
Worlds collide.
because the housewives are like, how dare you swear on your grandkid's life, and all the gamers are like, this is what we do. What do you mean? So it's like they both have two totally different like
interesting
worlds of reality TV. So combining them on a show is fascinating. So
got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, if you feel like this episode is off to like a kind of sporadic start, that's the vibe.
That's the whole episode.
Today's episode. We asked on our Instagram a Q&A if there's any questions you guys had. So we're just going to be like chipping through all those. No main segment. We do have a fun little thing at the end. We have 3 more Peeps flavors.
I'm so excited
to try. So if you listen to our episode.
I like to think that us doing these Peep trials is basically you trying to indoctrinate me into your love of Peeps. So I'm very excited.
It's only going to work if they're good. If they suck, then we're going to take 2 steps back. So
and one of these flavors I think sounds interesting, but I'm hesitant on. So we shall see.
So that's to come.
We shall see.
But in the meantime, we've got some questions. So I'll pass it to you.
Okay. So the very first one is going to be a pretty hard hitter.
Okay.
So this is, what is the purpose to keeping animals in captivity?
Okay, so I saw this question. I've seen all.
Yeah, we've seen all the questions.
2 things came to mind. 1, conservation.
Yes.
2, because people want them.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like those 2 reasons alone, like,
so true.
Both are valid.
Honestly, those were the exact 2 things that came to my mind as well. But it's like, it's an interesting question because I do feel like because people want them is a potentially like controversial reason.
I agree.
But
I think it's valid. I think that's a fair reason. It's why we do a lot of things. It's why we ride 100%. Horses. It's why we have dogs. It's 100%. Like why we have fish. It's why we have any animal in captivity. Most animals started out as like having a job or a purpose, right? Like the horses would like help drag the plow, right? And the dogs would like protect the whatever. Like they started out, but like we don't need that nowadays, right? Yeah. Or we have dogs because we want the companionship, or horses for the sportsmanship, and like reptiles because they look cool, right? And are like enjoyable to keep. And to me, like if that's what keeps you sane and like in a good spot, then like that seems like a good reason.
And it is interesting too, even just the thought of conservation, because like I think some people who are in actual like conservation work would argue that reptile breeding for the pet trade isn't conservation. So I do think that's an interesting touch point as well.
Yep, I agree with that too.
Because like, yeah, reptile breeding for the pet trade isn't necessarily like true like real conservation, but it does contribute and it does help, because eventually one day if all of our like natural forests and all these places are like more gone and those are getting chipped away, unfortunately, like all the time, it's like at some point the pet trade might be the only way to conserve.
One could argue it is conservation because the alternative would be taking them from the wild.
So true.
So by breeding them in captivity and maintain the pet trade, now playing devil's advocate, you like just don't keep them in the first place, then you don't have to do any of those scenarios. But if we are keeping reptiles, having people who are dedicated to supporting the pet pet trade would have conservation benefits beyond like wild caught.
And like when you had Apollo and you still have Luna, but when you were potentially trying to breed them, like there are hardly anybody. There's very few people that are breeding them in captivity. So I would argue that is like very much conserving the bloodlines and like keeping those species available in a sense. And so like it's just very interesting because I could see like anybody who wants to argue that those are like bad things,
Yeah.
like can argue that. And it is somewhat valid.
Which
to
is
an
very
extent.
much why this person asked this question, because they knew it's a little
It's a little bit of like
pushing.
a hot topic, and it could go one way or the other,
Yeah.
or it could go both ways. Like it's very interesting. So I just wanted to make sure that we covered like all sides of that, because I find that
No,
interesting.
I'm good with that.
Okay, this one is completely off the wall and very totally different. But what are our favorite snacks that we always have to have at home?
Does it say or it says snack?
Snack, but I have multiple.
I was like, I don't remember having an S on the end, because I had to narrow down my snacks just to one. So my answer that I've decided to go with is popcorn.
Oh, okay, that's a good one. And I
feel
like
love popcorn.
That's very common too. I feel like a lot of people love to snack on popcorn. I do too, but for whatever reason, it's not one of my go-tos. I don't know why.
So what are your go-tos?
Okay. I technically have 3, and but only
My
one
morning
of
snack,
them.
then my afternoon snack, and then my evening snack.
Okay, so I will put it into 2 categories. To answer the question, which is which snack do you always have to have at home? And the one that I always keep at home is the Baby Bell little red cheese wheels.
Those are the best.
Those are the best. I literally, this is so stupid, but I have one every night, and I call it my night cheese.
See, I said morning, afternoon, it's your evening snack?
It's my night cheese.
Yes.
And I usually have it like right before bed.
Oh.
So it's like, I don't know why. I just do.
It's late to have some cheese, but
I don't know why.
I love the wax, because then I like
You
put them
ball
in
it
little
up.
shapes and stuff. I definitely like would pack those for lunches as like a kid, and like I made it so like I think I overplayed with the wax, because they would get like kind of gross.
But ew. But what I like about them, it's like 4 grams of protein, which is actually like kind of a lot for like such a small little like bite. But those are just my favorite. But then my other 2 that I actually don't keep in the house, because I will eat all of them, and that I can't. I literally have to like, I strategically pick when I buy these, because I will eat the whole thing in one sitting.
Yes.
And that is goldfish crackers.
What kind?
The regular ones, not the flavor blasted.
I love the flavor blasted.
And the reason being is that the non-flavor blasted one have more salt on them, and I like that flavor better than I like the flavor.
Okay, I'm following.
Yes.
I like the opposite.
Yes, which I get. My dad does not understand why I prefer the regular goldfish.
Don't mess with the classics.
I just love it. And then the other one is the Ghirardelli chocolate squares.
What kind?
Dark chocolate with raspberry in the middle.
Oh, yeah, I won't touch
Those are my
those.
go-to. Logan gets me those.
Your snacks
for, like,
are safe
treats.
with me.
Yeah,
I won't.
Those are
I
my
won't
faves.
eat those.
Those are my faves.
No, okay. So if I wasn't going popcorn, I would just say candy.
Well, yeah.
And
Peeps.
Yes, Peeps.
Obviously.
But that's a meal. That's not a snack. The amount of times so everyone knows we're in peak Peeps season.
Yes.
Okay.
We're heading right into Easter.
The amount of times I've had Peeps at breakfast time, I've packed them in my lunch to go to the office. I've had them at evening. Like, there's no bad time. I sound crazy saying this out loud. I love them so much. Like,
It just cracks me up because I like them too. And I actually, stating this for the record, Logan and I did finish the Dr. Pepper ones that we tried recently.
those are pretty good.
Because I actually really liked those. So I did have more than one of those, which is unusual for me. But for me, it's just too much sugar in one sitting.
No, yeah, I am definitely like a candy person, and
Absolutely.
that rotates. Also, I really love cereal, so cereal is also a
Yes.
fantastic snack for me.
I was actually expecting that to be your first one that you said.
Yeah, it took my brain a little bit, but we got there. So those would be like, those are what's in rotation though, kind of depending what I'm feeling. My only qualm with popcorn is it gets stuck in your teeth.
Yeah,
so.
that's the worst. We all hate that.
Yep.
We hate that.
All
Okay.
right.
So next, this one, I feel like we might have talked about this, but I like the way they phrased it. Species that you couldn't be paid to keep.
Paid to keep?
Yeah.
Like, I assume paid like a lot of money to keep it.
They didn't specify.
I would lean towards like a monitor, like any large monitor lizard that has just like claws
Yeah.
and teeth
That
that you
checks
have to
out.
wear like industrial grade gloves to handle.
Yep.
Not really my vibe.
That's fair. That's totally fair. Mine's controversial, but bearded dragons.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm really sorry, guys. I swear.
Really? You wouldn't even be paid?
Okay, this was the way I was going to explain it. I would happily foster a beardy, right? Like,
Okay.
But it's the thought of keeping one like permanently that I just literally have no interest.
I would keep one. If someone was like, hey, I'll give you $100 to keep this bear dragon. I'm like, okay. Like, to me, I would be fine keeping it.
I guess I would too. Technically, I guess if paid, I just really don't want one.
That's fine. But if someone's like, here's $1,000.
I mean, yeah, okay.
So what's a species that you couldn't be paid to own? Because you could be paid to own a bear dragon. Fair. You just said you would foster it. That's free. So you got to change your answer.
But again, it's like not permanent. I don't want one for 10 years. I would do it for 6 months. I would do it for a year. But if I have to keep it for its whole life, I don't want to do that.
Are there any other species?
Iguana.
Okay.
Which was very similar to your answer. Or Burmese python. And same obviously goes with reticulated python too.
Yeah. So really big snakes, really big lizards.
And frankly, honestly, I think iguanas scare me, not scare, like that's dramatic, but scare me a smidge more than monitor lizards.
Oh, not me.
Just because they just tail whip so much. And I mean, monitors probably do that too. It's just like, I don't know. Yeah. So
all you beardy lovers, you can come after her in the comments.
Feel free. I don't hate them. I just literally have no interest. It's just like I have so many at this species at this point, and Nilla, my blue tongue skink, is in my opinion like pretty similar care-wise and stuff. Yeah. It's just like I just have no interest. Okay, so the next one is, and I feel like we've answered this one before, but always good to kind of talk through this. But where do you stay up to date on your reptile care information?
Yeah, so this is probably a different answer for me than for you because I keep a smaller quantity of species. So I stay active on the Chameleon forums, chameleonforums.com. I am a sponsor. Really great resource.
Yeah.
So that can be great for like to see what's kind of like ongoing and like common trends that are happening within the chameleon hobby. Chameleon Academy, Bill Strand.
Solid, yeah.
He has his whole YouTube channel, his website, his podcast. He has a newsletter. He posts actively on like social. So like I always and he like brings in people to interview like different scientists and such. So those would be probably my like most common ones with like chameleon specifically.
Yeah. For all the species that I keep currently, I really always try to keep tabs on anything up to date in the advanced husbandry Facebook groups. So not all Facebook groups are great. So like definitely not saying that. Suss it out, get a feel for the group and like try and come to terms with, whether or not that's the right information. But what I really like about the advancing husbandry ones, and when I say that, it's like they have African fat-tailed gecko, advancing husbandry, leopard gecko, advancing husbandry. So they have group specific.
Species specific, okay.
Species specific. And so all the species that I currently keep, I am in all of those Facebook groups, and I just keep, I would say maybe like once a quarter or so, like I'll go through and just see if there's anything new. And they do a really, really good job of keeping like up-to-date files. And they even like in the files.
That's awesome. Good resource.
Yeah. And so that's why I always point people to those files, because I feel like they do a very good job of like updating things when new information comes out, which is great. And they've proven that over time to like update their documents and their files. It'll even, some of them, maybe not all of them, but some of them have even like a date of like last updated by, and you can tell it's always like really recent, which is great. So I love that. I also love Reptiles. Always try to keep up with Reptiles. But I will say like Reptiles definitely has been like increasing some of like the minimum care standard enclosure sizes, which again can be a really great thing, but it also can like freak some people out sometimes of like, well, I just upgraded my animals and all this stuff. And like, trust me, been there, felt the stress. I get it. But like, you just have to take that with a little bit of a grain of salt of like, if you can't upgrade right now, that's okay. So don't let it like stress you out. But I would say those are probably my two most like top places that I check to keep up with.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a different story if I'm researching like a new species, and especially if it's also a different circumstance. If I'm researching a species that is not commonly kept, that is a very different thing, because in that regard I always try to like go to other keepers who have that species.
And that would be the other thing is like if we're active on socials, obviously we're posting stuff, we're consuming content, so we can also like see stuff from like other people, like things that they're kind of learning and sharing.
But I would say for the species that I keep currently, those are my two go-to sources. But if I need anything more specific, I will go to Google and try to find like peer-reviewed scientific studies. And those are also incredibly helpful. I do also know that some people have, I haven't done this yet, but some people have like notifications and alerts set up specifically for like new studies and things like that. So if you want to do that too, I think that's like a really great option too. So
there you guys have it. Let us know in the comments some places you like to
if they're
go check out.
Like I'm always looking for new sources. So if you guys have some like other ones that you guys prefer, I will always check that out. So that's always really great. Okay, this one was kind of fun. What is one thing about reptile keeping that you wish non-reptile keepers knew about?
That like reptiles aren't that smelly. I know we've kind of like talked about it, but like that's a thing. I wish they knew they lived a really long time.
That's a great one. Yeah.
I think people underestimate that. It kind of depends if it's the perspective of someone who's not a keeper who wants to be a keeper or just like not a keeper.
I think
in general.
This said non-keepers. So I'm assuming like not at all, like no interest. Yeah.
Those are the first ones that pop in my head. Do you have any floating around?
For me, the main one is just essentially that like, and this is literally what, if somebody were to ask me like, what is the point of your content creation? What is the point of your platform? Would be my answer is like, I just want people to understand that they are not nearly as scary as like you think they are.
Yeah.
They are not these evil, scary, awful creatures who are like bloodthirsty and want to like eat the babies and like specifically I would say snakes. That's where my brain immediately goes is like they're not that scary, guys. Like they're not.
Yeah, I as someone who keeps primarily chameleons, when I tell people I keep reptiles and keep chameleons, like I don't get the like fearful responses because chameleons aren't really like
they're not one that people look at and are like, oh, that's gross or scary or creepy. It's like a good entry.
Yeah. The thing that grosses them out is the fact that I have live bugs and roaches and such that like freaks them out. And they just think it's like weird that I have reptiles, but there's not necessarily like any animosity.
Like fear.
Yeah. Those would be my things. But yeah. And I would just say like, they're awesome, you know?
Yeah.
And
no, for sure.
I love them. And like, why do you keep them? Like, why do people keep fish? You know?
That's
like, they're cool to look at. It's like so enjoyable to like build these enclosures, these habitats for them. Like, I get so much out of that.
It's very fulfilling.
Yeah.
It's very fulfilling. And I think it's the one other one that I will say is I wish that people understood that even though they may not have like the capability of like loving you like a dog or a cat can, like they can bond with you.
Yes.
And that is like, and the trust that you can build with an animal who is not inherently like built or set up to trust you is such a special feeling.
Very rewarding.
It is so rewarding.
Versus a puppy that's born and is like, I love you.
Yes. Yeah. It's like, it's very, very different.
Yeah.
And so I think the aspect that they can trust and they can bond and you can build that and it's almost like a game to like.
It's a challenge.
It's such a challenge.
And you earned it. Yeah.
It feels so good. So that between that and not wanting to be scared of them and the smelliness and like all that stuff, like I think that all of those are really
common
good things.
reactions I get when people find out I have reptiles.
Totally. Okay. This one's really funny and is really just fabulous because we are doing more Peeps today, but somebody did ask us if we have tried the churro or Rice Krispies Peeps, and guess what? We already did.
We have. Go check out the episode.
So I just had to throw that in there because I thought that was so perfect.
We saw that come through and it's like, and those are literally the flavors.
The two plus the Dr. Pepper.
Yeah,
so I was
we did last time.
That's perfect. So if you haven't watched that yet, please go back and check that out.
Can we just give some love to Pangea Reptile?
I mean, always. My geckos cannot get enough of their gecko food. Mine are actually pretty picky sometimes, but mine have never turned down the watermelon and fig and insect flavors. Pangea has so many flavors that even your pickiest gecko will find one they love.
And quick shout out because it's been such a fun project to work on my chameleon kits with Pangea. We've been able to provide amazing homes for hundreds of chameleons. With everything you need bundled into one easy kit, it's your one-stop shop for all your chameleon needs.
And if that's not enough, we're always shopping their quirk bark and feeding ledges too. You can find everything you need at PangeaReptile.com. Hey reptile girlies! By now you've heard us talk all about Scratches, the social app that helps exotic pet owners like us find their people.
You can add photos of you and all your scaly babies, set your filter to reptiles, and start scrolling through your local pet parents who get it. Think of scratches as your way of avoiding the ever-looming "so do you have any pets?" question. Whether you're looking for friendship, romance, or someone who can pet sit your critters, your community is just a new match away.
Download Scratches today and start connecting with reptile keepers in your area. Available on iOS and Android. So then this one, supplies to not waste your money on.
Reptile carpet.
Absolutely. Oh, I was going to say red bulbs.
That was the next one in my head. Yeah, waterfalls.
Yeah, waterfalls. Oh gosh, no.
Flavored calcium powders. You haven't seen those? Like strawberry flavored calcium supplements?
What?
Yeah, it's like strawberry banana calcium with D3.
I have never seen that. That is brand new to my brain.
Oh yeah, they have them because people send me pictures of it. So far I've only seen it in a version where it's calcium with vitamin D3.
Oh, that's super bizarre.
Yeah, and so I can't recommend it because chameleons, we pretty much we primarily use calcium without D3, so I'm like, that's the wrong kind.
Yeah.
But it's like supposed to taste better for the reptile.
As if they care.
But it's funny because like you're putting a fruit flavor on a bug, so shouldn't you have roach flavored?
Right,
like,
right.
Hormone flavored supplement.
That doesn't make any sense.
So I wouldn't waste your money on.
That is such a waste of money.
On those.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So the one I'll say is it could be controversial, but heat mats for the most part. Now that will depend on the type of enclosures that you are setting up and like what you want to do. But for the most part, if you can avoid heat mats, I would. I would
challenge you on that one though, of like, is it products not to waste your money on? Because those do have a time and a place.
That's fair.
Now, while I know that wouldn't be your recommendation,
yeah,
I do think they are
they serve a purpose.
Yes, a beneficial product versus like strawberry flavored calcium.
Yeah, that's truly a waste. But that was besides the red bulbs and obviously everything else we already talked about. That did pop into my head, but that's why I was like, it's kind of controversial because like they are great for like quarantine setups. They are great for like
they have a time and a place.
They have their purpose. I'm at a point where like I don't use them anymore hardly at all. So to me, it's like I've got like 10 in my closet over here that I don't need. And so it is kind of like I do feel like I have a lot wasted. So that did pop into my head.
Another one is the Fluker's orange cubes.
Oh, God.
Don't waste your money on any of those.
No.
You're better off with like fresh fruits and vegetables for your gut load. And there are a lot of places that are making like a commercial dry gut load that I think is like way more really nutrient dense than the orange cubes. Yeah, so I wouldn't waste your money on those. Mm-mm. In the world of chameleons, I know beer dragon folks like hammocks. Don't waste your money on any hammocks or netting or things like that.
I will also, just to throw in a feeder insect, is mealworms. There are so many other better options for like, I mean, it's not a waste.
You can feed them. Yeah. Just like there are better options. So
like if you're going to be spending your money on bugs anyway, that shouldn't be one of them, in my opinion.
I'm trying to think. Hygrometers that are like the little dial.
Also,
don't waste your money on those.
Any hygrometer that has anything sticky.
Which are those
ones? Which are those
analog ones?
But there are some digital ones though that do come with the stickers, and I just wouldn't do it. Any that have the sticker, I wouldn't recommend.
Your hygrometer should be digital. Mm-hmm. They're way more accurate. Especially if you want to be able to measure like your ambient humidity and then the upper area, the lower area, or left or right or whatever. So like don't waste your money on.
Not worth it.
On those products that like de-shedders. You've seen those?
Oh, yeah.
There's some of those like
I forgot about those.
I wouldn't waste your money on. Mm-mm. If your reptile's having issues shedding, that's a sign of like a bigger husbandry issue that like this product isn't necessarily gonna resolve. Like there's still going to be the underlying issue that's causing the shedding problems in the first place. So wouldn't waste your money on those.
Nope, definitely not. Okay, I feel like we covered
that's a good chunk.
That's a good.
This is also just like off the top of our heads.
I know. I'm like there's so more that I know that I'm not thinking of right now.
What's happening is I'm going down the aisle of Petco and PetSmart right now.
That's so accurate.
That's literally what's happening in my brain right now. Mossy vines. Don't waste your money on those.
Calcium sand, Vita sand.
Don't waste your money on those.
There's so many things that have caveats though, and that's where I'm struggling. Is like
the ones that I say I feel pretty like confident are like just don't even.
For
Don't
sure.
bother. But this could be a good future podcast episode topic where we can kind of dive into the nuances of like in this situation, it's okay to use, and maybe in this, like the heat mat, right? Like there's a time and a place, but like here would be our recommendation if you were like looking for a heat source. So
yeah, no, I think that's great. Okay, this is actually our last one. We have, what information should a keeper ask about an animal that they're purchasing at an expo?
Oh boy.
I know. This one's tough because it kind of depends on the species, kind of depends on the situation.
Question 1. Are they captive bred?
Absolutely.
Captive born and bred. Should clarify. CBB. If you've listened to a few of our episodes, you've probably heard us talk about that. Just because a reptile expo could go either way, and so it's just good to get confirmation of like, is this a captive born and bred animal?
Yes. And if it's not, then what's the situation? Like, what does that look like? How long have you had it? Where did it come from? This and that. Like, how long has it been in captivity? What's the situation? Like, there's so many questions that come loaded with that one.
Yes.
But so the one that I had basically in my head was, what is the hatch date? Or you know, live birth, if it was live birth, like when was it born? And then also, oh gosh, now I'm totally blanking.
Like the parents or the lineage?
Yes. Sorry. Thank you. That was, yes, it was the hatch date and the lineage. And then also, when did it last eat?
Yep. Eating was one.
Yeah.
If they know when it last pooped, that could be helpful.
If they know when it last shed, that can also be really helpful.
Yeah.
So all those kind of questions of like, what is that animal's current situation? What was its situation most recently?
Yep.
And what is any of the history that it may have?
Yep. And then how are they raising the, if it's an adult, a juvenile, a baby, like how are they raising them? If you know your stuff, then you can kind of like quiz them a little bit of like, you can play dumb for a second, like, oh, like, what would you recommend for like how you care for these? And if they're like, oh, you just like throw it in here and you just slap that on there and then they're good, then like, versus like, you need this UVB and this is your supplement schedule and your gut load and like whatever, you know, feeding schedule and tips and tricks for like handling, like you can get a sense of their knowledge, because then they're likely going to be raising their animals the same way, but then also are they invested in making sure you know what you're doing?
I would say like their level of care, like how much do they care about where these animals are going? How much do they care about the care they're going to be going in this new home? Like kind of just assessing those situations, I think is really helpful. But above all of that, I would say like the top most important thing is just figuring out the history of the animal in particular. Yep. Because, you know, even if you end up finding a breeder that isn't as, maybe not, you know, doesn't have the quality of care that you would want or anything like that, like it's most important, specifically if you already have the animal in your hand that you think you might want, those are the questions that are of the utmost importance. Yes. Is all that.
And then if you can ask about their temperament or like personality, because how an animal acts at an expo is likely is going to be different, especially if you're looking at like species that are typically nocturnal, right? Crested geckos, for example, like, and now they're being handled and stuff when like normally they would just be chilling and sleeping. Or snakes, like you don't know if that snake's been handled 4 times that day before you got a chance to interact with it. And if the breeder can kind of know, and I'm thinking with snakes particular, like can kind of know the personality or temperament, that tells you that they've likely worked with the animal.
Handled the animal a lot, which is again a good sign of its temperament, potentially.
Yeah.
So.
And then it can also set expectations
for you
and like what's their response of like, oh, they're all the same, or oh, how you see it is like how they are, and like those are kind of like fluff answers that aren't really like grounded in like that experience, I guess. I don't know.
No, that's a great way of putting it. I think that's solid. So
and then it sets expectations for you, so you kind of like
100%
know. So those would be, again, these are kind of like off the top of our head because we're just kind of like ripping through these questions, but I think that would get you in a really good spot.
That would get you in a really good spot. The way to kind of categorize that, I think there's like 3 categories to all those questions, is like find out the history of the animal, everything to know about the specific animal that you are interested in, find out the level of care that the breeder has, and then what was the third one? Like the third one,
I don't know, temperament.
Oh, temperament and stuff. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry.
I was like, I don't know what's in your brain.
My memory is just really not the best these days, y'all. But yeah, so those are all of our questions. So thank you so much for asking. We hope that if you asked, you are listening and that you enjoyed. And now we get to move along to the Peeps testing.
Okay, before we do Peeps though, we do need to do a quick plug. NRBC Dallas. I'm not quite sure when this episode's coming out, to be honest, with all of like the shows and such. But the last weekend of March, I think that's like 28th, 29th.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there.
We're going to be at NRBC Dallas. So we're doing Tinley, then we're doing Dallas. So we're very excited. Tinley should be done at this point.
Yes.
So we're actually going to have a booth at NRBC Dallas. When you come to the show, if you just swing a left, we should be
right there.
over in that area. So please come say hi. We will have merch for sale. We will have stickers. You will have us there. We would love to come meet you guys. So swing on by. NRBC Dallas is a fantastic show. If you're in the area.
Yes.
Highly recommend any of the NRBC shows, period. But yeah.
And I think it'll be pretty hard to miss us because we will have this lovely neon sign there. So if you are familiar with our neon sign and logo, be on the lookout for that. It's pretty bright. You should be able to see it. And then on top of that, it should be sitting in front of a disco wall.
Giant sparkly wall.
You really can't miss our sparkly wall.
Yes.
So be on the lookout for us and our sparkly wall, and we will see you there.
Yes, and we will be there Saturday, Sunday.
The whole day.
All day.
All day. Yep.
Come say hi. And if we're not at the booth, we will be.
Say hi to Logan and check back in.
And my mom.
Very soon. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now we can go into the Peeps. So we've got 3 flavors.
I'm so excited.
Let's see.
Let's get these out.
Okay. So we've got on the menu for today, we've got Briars, them and their brand deals.
Yeah.
Cookies and cream. These are brand new this year. These have not come out before.
You haven't even tried
I have not tried these. Then we have cotton candy.
Very exciting.
I've had these before.
Okay.
I'm going to keep my opinions to myself, though.
As you should.
And then we have sour watermelon.
This is the one that I am excited to try because I am a fruity girl. I love the fruity flavors.
I feel like we need to save this one for last.
Yes, I agree.
also think it'll mess up your taste buds.
Okay.
Because if it's a little sour, then it's going to make these other ones seem like overly 100%. Sweet, is what I'm thinking.
Super fair. Super fair.
Okay. Well, you want to hold these?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to try the Briars.
Can we actually try cotton candy first?
Sure.
The only reason
I don't think it matters.
The only reason I'm saying
I just think these are going to be sweeter.
I think I'm going to really like the cookies and cream one.
Do you want to get these out of the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I had a preference.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on cotton candy flavor in general?
I'm not a big cotton candy girl. Like, I don't dislike it. It's just, it is usually like way too sweet for me.
Okay.
So, which is kind of why I was like, oh gosh, I want to get that out of the way.
Do you like cotton candy at all?
Yes.
Like actual cotton candy?
Yeah, yes. So like actual cotton candy.
Smell them.
Oh, that is sickeningly sweet.
That's why I'm like, don't have these after the sour one.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I love actual cotton candy, but I think it's abundantly clear
that
I just love sugar.
Yes.
So like I love cotton candy.
I like cotton candy if the setting is like right for it. So if I'm at like a state fair,
okay,
or if I am at like a carnival, or if I'm at like something along those lines,
it's a festive treat.
Festive treat.
Okay.
And I also cannot, like, depending on how giant it is, I can't do the giant cotton candies. That's
I love that.
No, like I need to share it with somebody because
you
will
can
like
share it with me.
Exactly. So it's like, so I have to share it, but the cotton candy flavoring is not always my favorite just because it is usually very overpoweringly sweet, more sweet than regular cotton candy in my opinion.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So we'll see.
No, you try it.
All right.
Cheers. A little crunch.
Well, that's good. It totally tastes like cotton candy. Mm-hmm. It's actually, it's not like overly, it smells sweeter than it actually is. You know?
I think they're subtly sweet.
Very subtly sweet. It's not overpowering. What were the ones that we tried last time? The marshmallow ones? Those were way sweeter.
Rice Krispies.
Those were way sweeter.
Because we had churro, Rice Krispie, and Dr. Pepper. Mm-hmm. Wow, you're eating it.
It's good. I like it.
Yeah. Okay. If you don't like any of these other ones, you can just have half a bite, though.
No,
don't
I for
feel
sure
like
will. Oh, yeah. No.
I feel like after that churro one, I just wanted to...
Yeah, I did not like that one. No. That one was like too cinnamony.
Okay, out of 10, what would you give the cotton candy?
I don't remember what any of my last rankings were.
I think you gave Dr. Pepper like a 7 or an 8.
I think an 8 probably.
I think the Rice Krispies were somewhere in the middle and churro was like a 2.
I would put this at like a 6, 7.
Okay. in the middle.
6-ish. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
It wouldn't be my choice.
Yeah.
I think I would prefer the Dr. Pepper or the Rice Krispies, but not bad.
But you ate a Peep.
I ate a Peep and it was good. I liked it.
I'd give him like a 6.
Yeah. Okay. Please, and Campbell is immediately looking at us because he definitely thinks that this is a TREAT, which I cannot say, or he will get all jacked up and excited.
I also like how they're pink.
I literally was thinking that.
And the whole thing is pink.
The whole
it's not
thing
like
is
pink on the outside. It's
yes.
The whole thing's pink.
No, I had that same thought because when I bit into it, I was surprised that it wasn't white in the middle.
Oh, these don't have a strong smell to them.
I think they do. It's not as strong as the other one, but it definitely gives cookie.
Yeah.
It definitely gives
like
cookie smell.
Like chippy.
Yeah.
Like chocolate chippy.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Frankly, it doesn't have a lot of flavor.
No.
Like, I have a thought.
Okay.
I think to make this better, they could put actual mini chocolate chips in it.
So it's supposed to be cookies and cream. So I feel like there should be like Oreo bits or something.
Oreo bits or something. I'm not getting nearly enough Oreo flavor.
No, it's just like kind of creamy.
Yeah. I'm definitely not getting nearly enough like chocolate or cookie flavor.
Yeah. I'm not like, I don't have the strong desire to like finish this whole Peep.
Yeah,
I will because it's a Peep, but
I don't.
You can put your...
Wow, the fact that I liked cotton candy the
back.
most so far is actually shocking. I'm very surprised by that. It's not bad. It's just like the cookie flavor isn't enough.
No, as someone who obviously eats regular Peeps often,
as
there
you
is a
should.
flavor difference, but it's not a lot.
Yeah.
It's okay. I give it like a 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4.
Not the best.
Not the best. Not ideal. Not ideal.
These are gonna be
I'm scared. Oh, I'm scared. Okay, these are the sour watermelon flavor, just as a little refresher for anybody. This one's like hard to open. I like can't get the...
Do you want help?
Yes.
Leave it to the professional.
Yeah, I'm not good at this. I also feel like my nails are too long right now.
Yeah, we haven't even talked
We
about
haven't
those
even
yet.
talked about our nails.
You didn't see that.
You didn't see that. We did not use our teeth. What are you talking about?
Okay, smell them.
Oh, that is straight up sour watermelon. There is literally no... So is this one that has flavor on the inside or just the coating?
You'll just have to try it.
Oh no, I'm scared.
I didn't give you preparation for any of the other ones.
Oh, it's pink on the inside. That's cute. That's cute.
Okay, see that?
Yeah, it's got pink on the inside. That's adorable. I'm going to crack up because I know that you aren't the biggest fan of this one.
I'm not.
So I'm going to
But I don't like sour things, so that's like half of it.
I'm going to really giggle if I love this.
Dink.
Cheers. I like it.
It's immediately making my cheeks like...
Bro, it's not even that sour.
I'm
Do
telling
you
you.
think this is super sour?
Not super sour, but it is sour. So, this is my theory. You know how your taste buds, there's like spicy, sweet, sour, salty?
You don't like spicy either.
I don't do spicy.
You don't do sour.
I don't do sour. I'm like, towards salty. So, I'm convinced like all of my taste buds are like sweet taste buds. Which means I'm like uber sensitive to sour, spicy, and like salty.
No, I actually like that. And it's like very different. I'm going to finish it. It's really good.
They are pink.
They are pink on the inside, which is adorable.
These are flavorful though, which is why I said eat these first and then finish on this one.
I don't think they're that flavorful.
Wait, compared to the cookies and cream though.
Yes, compared to the cookies and cream, 100%.
On the scale of Peeps, these are flavorful. That's what I was saying.
But
not in general. No. It's subtle.
I would really appreciate it if anybody who is a sour candy girly, because I am a sour candy girly, like Airhead Extremes are my jam.
Won't eat 'em.
Oh, I love them.
Do you think
sour Skittles?
Do you think sour gummy worms are sour?
No.
Yeah, that's about my limit.
Oh, you would hate sour Skittles.
I don't eat them.
You would hate sour Skittles. Sour
I can't
Skittles.
eat them. They will destroy my mouth.
I will say, I do think that sour Skittles are like pretty top tier sour. Like not crazy, but like enough that is like, it is a lot of sour. I can't finish a whole bag because it'll like be too much.
Destroy your mouth. Oh, I know.
Yeah. But the Airhead Extremes, and this is like, I wouldn't even, on the scale of like sour candy, this is like a 2.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. However, my personal limit is about 3. So like that's like
I get it. I get it. But
that's where I can land because like sour gummy worms, I know aren't inherently because I've had the lemon heads.
yes.
What are those? Those have is that what they're called?
Yeah, lemon heads.
Oh, how original.
Or lemon drops.
Lemon drops maybe. Okay, what are the like the Airhead Extremes?
Yes.
Is that what you were saying?
The rainbow ones? The
No,
rainbow
like the hard
sour?
candies.
Oh.
Those suckers are like
Airhead Extreme.
they're like very sour.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Oh, wow. So I'm having a really weird childhood flashback right now. Do you remember Warheads?
That's
Is that
it.
what you're talking about?
Or it's the hard
Okay.
candy.
That's
And
so extreme.
And it's the face that's like
yes, those are Warheads. I
That's
know
what I was
exactly what you're
thinking
talking about. When I was a kid, I had a metal crown on my tooth, on like one of my baby teeth. So I was probably like, I don't know, 7 or 8, and I was eating one of those Warheads, and I cracked my crown because I was chewing on it, because I also chew hard candy because I'm insane. And so you've witnessed it, I'm sure. But I was biting down on that Warhead, and it cracked my crown, and I had to go in and get it fixed as a kid.
No, those are sour.
No, those are crazy. Those are crazy. That you are rightfully in your like disdain for sour.
So like that's what I'm saying. Like I know these and like sour gummy worms are like so low. But like for me, these are enjoyable to eat.
Yeah.
The gummy worms are enjoyable to eat. Having the Warheads is not an enjoyable experience. Like I don't like it. I don't want it. I do like the lemon heads, whatever those are, because they're like
you're thinking of like the little lemon drops. Are you thinking of the ones that have kind of like the harder coating?
Yeah. And then they're sweet in the center. You just have to get through like the sour exterior.
Yes.
Yeah, those I don't mind.
Those are my favorite. So I think there are lemon heads, but I think lemon heads are just little balls. They're not shaped like lemons, and they don't have like the sour coating.
Okay.
So the ones with the sour coating, those are like old fashioned, like old timey, like lemon drop candies, and those are one of my favorites.
Got it.
I love those. So I very clearly like the sour candies.
So what would you score the sour watermelon?
A 5.
Oh, I thought it would be higher. Okay.
I mean, like if I'm comparing Dr. Pepper and Rice Krispie treats at like an 8, like 7 or 8, I would say like a 5 or 6.
Okay.
Like if I had a choice, I wouldn't choose them. I would choose Dr. Pepper or Rice Krispie. Those are still my top tier.
Got it.
2 favorites.
We still have not tried the hot tamale. I looked at Walmart today. They did not have them. They did have
I don't think I'll like hot tamale.
They're one of my favorites. They also had birthday cake, and those are just so sweet.
Yeah, I probably
They're just so sweet.
Yeah.
And like they don't it's like the typical like flavoring you get for like birthday cake stuff. So
see, I don't even like cake that much. So
that's a whole nother thing. But anyways, there you guys have it. Those are some of the Peeps for the season. I now follow the Peeps Instagram page. It's also
insane that you didn't.
I don't know why. It's fixed now. Don't you worry.
Wild.
They also have chocolate pudding Peeps. And like the Peeps the Peeps account responded, go to Walmart for like all of these. So I went to Walmart and they had the cookies and cream. That was the new one, but they did not have the chocolate pudding. So
okay, we'll have to put that on our list for the next time we spot them.
Yeah.
So, super fun. I love being indoctrinated into the Peeps cult that is you.
Do you understand now though? Last year
when
I was like, there's all these flavors, and you're
truly.
like, what?
No, I was like absolutely like shell shocked. I was like mind boggled that this was even a thing, and now I get it. I don't get the obsession. I don't think I'll ever quite get it, but I love you.
It's fine. We all have our things. You've got reality
for sure. 100%.
TV,
and you listen
I've got
to me.
Marshmallow Peeps.
Yes,
it's fine.
We will. That is what best friends do. We will indulge each other in our weird little obsessions, and I love it, and I love sharing it with the Reptile girlies. So
okay, so I know we usually do nails at the beginning of the episode.
Yes, we skipped it because I had to harp on reality TV.
Yes, we have not talked about it. So
they're fabulous.
Yours is a whole
thing.
experience. So talk us through what's happening here.
I don't even think I can fully explain it. So my girl Rosie, I went in and I pretty much told her that I wanted something green because we are filming this before Tenley. And so we are going to Tenley weekend is St. Patrick's Day weekend. So I just wanted to have a little bit of green for some fun, like festive in March. And she just went ham.
So you didn't know any of this was happening?
Well, she showed me a picture before she did them. She showed me like 2 different pictures of like some green stuff. And here's the best part. This is why I love Rosie so much. She goes, "You came on a good day." I was like, "Why? What do you mean?" She was like, "I'm in the mood to do like a cool design today." And I was like, Are you not always?" And she goes, "No, I've told you no before. I tell people no sometimes." And she literally said, she goes, "And when I tell them no, I literally just think they came on the bad day." And I'm like, Rosie.
I do understand though, like nails can be as time consuming as you want them to be.
Yes.
And you do kind of have to like
She shot it so straight with me. She literally was just like, "Sometimes I'm not in the mood." And I was like, "I get it, girl. I get it." But so basically what these are, on my thumbs, I have green kind of crocodile scaly looking vibes. And then all the other ones are different. So that's why it makes it a little confusing. I have one that is French tips, but then it's got tiny little 3-dimensional olives on it.
How do you feel about the olives?
I love them.
Okay. I don't like green olives. As a
general
a food
item.
Yes. As a general, I like black olives. I don't like green olives.
Yeah.
And I don't like dirty martinis that usually have like olives in them.
Dirty martinis.
So I'm like, I don't have positive feelings towards olives.
I
think they're adorable, but I'm like,
I get it.
Green olives.
I get it. So what Rosie called these was dirty martini nails.
Oh, cute.
So that is, she was like, it's kind of like a dirty martini. I was like, you are so right. And I love those. So
now that you say that, I'm fully understanding.
It makes sense.
Vibe. Yeah.
Then 2 of them are tortoise shell, which is really cool.
I've seen those.
I've never had those done before. So that was really exciting just to do like one. Then one of my pinkies is green chrome French tip. The other one is green, but with like some 3D clear detailing.
I really wish you guys could see these.
They're so sick, y'all. Like,
in person.
Check out our Instagrams and TikToks because we did post like a International Women's Day post that had these. So check those out. You can see them a little bit more close up.
Yeah.
They're just so freaking cool. And one thing that I have now learned, so on these, I think I mentioned the olives are these little 3D bump glue raised vibe. And what I like about that, I actually love the 3D raised vibe feeling. Like,
because they give you kind of something to mess with.
It's like a little bit of like a sensory thing. Like, it's so cool. I keep like messing with them.
Those are okay, but the gems?
Yes, I don't like the gems. Because what I like about these is that when I wash my hair with my hands, it doesn't snag. But the gemstones, it snags. So nice. Big fan.
So how long did all that take?
Oh, this was a 2-hour nail excursion. Yeah. Okay. No, I was sitting in that chair for 2 hours. 100%.
Do you just sit there, or do you like put a podcast in, or do you like chat with Rosie?
I chat with Rosie. Okay. Yeah, we chit chat. We talk about all kinds of stuff. She probably knows way too much about my life, and we chit chat. So
does she know about the podcast?
Actually, she follows like my Reptile account and everything. Yeah. So she follows everything. I don't think she listens to the pod, but she definitely follows, and she'll sometimes message me and send me different stuff. And so she's fabulous. We love her.
So I don't have the patience to sit in the chair for 2 hours. So my nail excursion was about an hour, but these are just purple croc nails.
They're so sick though. I
croc
love
bean,
them.
Sick.
Sorry.
Short for crocodile is what it is. So I obviously was prepping for Tinley and the Dallas show as well, of like, okay, I want purple because we're also in springtime, and I totally hear you with the green vibes. But because I'm getting mine done kind of in mid-March already, then I was like, I'm just gonna blow past green nails and just jump right into to spring. And then they do kind of like go with the pod and like
they're perfect.
Everything else. So
they're fabulous. I've never seen this color purple of those croc nails, like that like, what is it? The trend of that. I've seen the croc nails obviously, but I haven't ever seen purple.
The guy who did my nails also hasn't ever seen purple.
It's super cool. I freaking love it.
I think these might be the coolest nails
you've had.
I've had.
They're really, really, really cool.
Yeah.
They're probably one of my favorites you've ever had, for sure.
They're right up there with like the kind of like rainbowy chromes I've done.
I think these are hands down the coolest ones I've ever had. really
The
big
butterfly
fan.
ones.
Yes. These, and then I had the butterfly iridescent ones, and then also the most recent ones that I just had, which were the pink croc tips. So those are my top 3 that we've had.
Yeah, these are sick. Also, when I went, I just sit in silence, like, because this is the second time I've gone back.
You don't do a podcast or anything?
No.
That surprises me. I could see you doing that.
No, because it's my one time where I'm like not on my phone.
You're zoned out.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's like few and far between that I'm like not taking in something like content or whatever. So I intentionally like.
I also specifically don't touch my phone during my nail stuff because I feel like it's kind of rude. I know it's not, but I think because Rosie and I like chit chat so much and like we've got a good vibe that like I don't want to rudely be like, I'll occasionally check it if like Logan texts me or something. I will, but I try not to get on my phone during it.
No, so they had the music playing and then it was like eerily quiet. There was like 4 other people getting their nails done. No one was talking. We were all just kind of like sitting there, just like
dead silence.
And some of them did have like AirPods in and were like very much like on their phones and whatever. But this guy was so sweet because he nicked me once on my cuticle and then once underneath my, when they like do the buff thing. Yeah. He just like went to town. And I guess it was a new buffer because he just like sliced me right under my pinky. He's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And if you guys recall, there was the person who wasn't as apologetic after slicing me and just kept going over it. And so anyways, so he was like very understanding and I was like, oh my gosh, like you're totally fine. And then when he came around with his little alcohol spray, I was like, no. I was like, not this one.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
And I just like tucked that finger in and I was like, we don't need to.
Rosie's great about she'll always, because I kind of like, I pick at my skin on my fingers, specifically my thumbs. And so she'll always look at it and she's totally judging me. And she'll just look at me and she'll be like, that's going to hurt. I'm like, I know.
All good. Well, yeah, just keeping you guys in the loop with our nail saga because I feel like this month's nails are like,
this is some of our best work.
Pretty sick.
This is some of our best work. 100%.
Yeah. So anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode. As always, you can follow the podcast on all the socials. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you can get your podcast. Leave us a review. You can follow me at Neptune the Chameleon on all things social.
And me, Lyssa's Lizards, all things.
Otherwise, that is a wrap on this Q&A, Peeps, nail, reality TV,
chaotic, random,
reptile extravaganza. So
we hope you enjoyed and we will talk to you girlies next time.
Bye.
Bye.